This week's feeling of the week is one you've probably never heard of. It is Liberosis. Crimson, what's the definition?
So, the definition of liberosis is the desire to care less about things. And I need to clarify because this is the first time we brought a feeling in that's actually not a psychological term. So, I don't know if you know this story, but John Koenig wrote a book called The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, which I now am completely going to read because you don't name a book.
Obsessed.
Yeah, like, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't name a book something like that.
10 out of
Um,
10. No notes on that title.
Yeah, I don't need to know more. I'm in, John. Let's do this. But what he was trying to do was create a word for universal emotions that we have not created definitions for or words for. So sonder is one of his words. That one I've heard before. Everyone has a life as rich and as complex as yours. It's like the ability to see the complexity and
Mhm.
layers of humans. Kuebiko, which is exhaustion from witnessing the suffering of the world, which I think
Mm.
a lot of us can relate to right now, right? I mean, that is
I think that
like,
might need to be the feeling for next week. Let's bookmark that one.
yeah, like, I mean, we're gonna have to have like feelings and then like obscure sorrows. I don't know.
They're
Um,
all feelings. I mean, it's like color and color theory. Like there's primary emotions and then you mix them all
yeah,
and we come up with different feelings. And this is actually one of my favorite things is when you find out like there's a feeling for a sensation you've experienced, but you had no words for it. And like they have a word for it in Japanese. And you're like,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
my God. Like that is
yeah.
like one of my favorite healing experiences, which is why I wanted to bring some of these to the table. But I do think that one about the exhaustion of the world we should definitely table for a future week. But this one was
Yeah.
interesting because it actually I was like I had no idea. I was like what do we want to do for a feeling? What do we want to do for a coping skill? And as soon as I saw this feeling, it made me think of the coping skill of the week. I do think that part of this feeling is like what does it bring up for you in the past when maybe times felt less heavy? And when were those times? And what did that look like? And that is juicy information. I'll share mine for our show and tell. But I think it's really evocative. Like it's an evocative enough feeling that it connected me back to something. And I liked that. I liked that experience of like, oh, that's the word for that.
One of them I've never heard of, but I feel it at a rate that's excessive is ellipsism. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
The sadness of knowing you'll never see how the story of humanity ends.
Uh,
Oh my God, ellipsism is my new word. Ellipsism.
have you seen Project Hail Mary?
No.
I watched it this weekend. It's very good. I would highly recommend it. Super engaging, very well done movie. And I think that that movie actually brought that feeling up for me. It's a powerful story, and it also really it made me feel a tinge of like sadness that I won't see the story of humanity's ending. I don't know. Future? Maybe is a more
Just
positive
in
way to say that.
general, we don't know how this
Yeah.
story ends. Like
But before
it's
watching that movie, I would say would not have felt like hopeful about that. And then after I watched that movie, like I was like, there's a lot of different ways that the story could go. And I do believe in humans and I do believe in our innate ability to work together and to solve complex problems and to be compassionate with each other, even though that's not really what we're platforming right now.
yeah,
So
but
watch the
it's
movie. It's a good movie.
absolutely. Yep. I got to spend time with a 90-year-old that is terminal, but he's in good shape, so he could talk and it was a good grounder and a reminder that we've been through a lot at the macro in the last 100 years. There's a lot to be hopeful about, but none of us are gonna know how it ends because we're gonna die. So there's that.